If you're reading the title of this video, this is why my face looks like this right now. You know what? I'm gonna get my dad, because I think my dad deserves to have a say on this in the channel. But first, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app. Now, what is OneFootball, you ask? If you ever find yourself in these situations where you can't watch a game, whether it's a wedding, whether it's on during a party, whether it's on during a work shift, there can be so many reasons. That's why this app is perfect for you. The OneFootball app provides you the fastest up-to-date news possible. Not just when it comes to extremely fast updated scorelines, but also up-to-date news in regards to your club. Whether it's transfer rumours, whether it's rumours about your manager, or rumours about certain key players in your team. I highly recommend this app, so go and download that app right now. Link is in the description. Okay, so he's finally decided to join the upload. Right, how are you feeling right now about the sacking? You know, because apparently there was not even any like mutual agreement or anything of the sort, or any meeting. Apparently called into the office, Pochettino, you're out, sacked. That's what happened.
I think with a lot of things, the fans are the last to know what the true position is. There's obviously been a lot of discussion going on behind the scenes. Things have not been good for a long while, and I think Daniel Levy was right to be concerned about bad results, because they've been shit results since January. Okay, we had obviously a Champions League run, and obviously Pochettino has been a fantastic manager. But with the current setup, someone like Daniel Levy, who's accountable to someone, Joe Louis, he has got to be continually reviewing whether it's going to get better or it's not. But now, I just want to say one thing. This whole thing started with that weird interview that Pochettino gave early on in the season when we thought everything was fine, where everything obviously wasn't fine.
What interview are you on about?
It was back in September, where bizarrely he was moaning about this and moaning about it, remember? It was like 2 games in. We'd drawn against City. Okay, our second result wasn't all that, but it wasn't going too bad. We had confidence. And he had this like weird interview where everything was wrong with him. He was down, he was miserable, and then he had this meeting and went out for dinner and everything was happy again. Something odd was going out. Well, and we don't know what it is.
There have been loads of things that were odd at the moment. There was something going on between the players, although Eriksen, with Jan Vertonghen being on, and going to Eriksen's misses behind his back.
We don't know.
Eriksen tweeted that was bull, but you can still see that there was something not right between the players. You remember back in the 2016-17 season where we overachieved and overpeaked. The players were all best friends. They all hang out together. They all went and did their own thing together outside of training. And now there's this sense of disunity. And let me finish as well. And I think that the players have got to take a responsibility of the reasoning of why they've been sacked. Because I'll show you the media headline that's just been told. But apparently there was a lot of talk of Poch losing the dressing room and players were talking about it in front of medics and staff and something like that. You'll see it in the headline in the screen there.
My response would be, there are 5 or 6 players who've been brilliant over the years, who've been very poor this season.
And have turned into complete bad eggs as well.
I don't know whether they're bad eggs or not, but they have not been performing anywhere near their potential, and they've been letting the team down. And because they are and have been core players, and I do mean our 2 centre-backs, and I do mean Danny Rose, and I do mean Eriksen, obviously. They were all essential players. Now, when you take the strength of what they gave the team from years gone out, even though they're still playing, the rest of the team haven't got a chance. And then confidence crumbles, and then it feeds through to the better performing players, the Kanes and the Sons. And we end up with a team that can't win.
I get what you're trying to say, and I mean, you haven't said it, but I sort of see what you're about to say, which is that it's the sort of the opinion about a club being over a manager, which is true. You know, we support Tottenham Hotspur, not Mauricio Pochettino, but you've got to understand that this manager has turned a club into something unimaginable, and now we're playing like how we used to be in the bad old days. But the point I'm saying is, those players didn't play for the manager when they should have, when they could have, but they didn't.
There's something going on with the morale within the core of the team that we don't know about. Something has happened because Poch, who I think is an intelligent guy and an insightful guy, was early on in the season saying something is very wrong here. Now, I know he wanted to buy players in the summer that Levy didn't let him get. and we don't know what the ins and outs.
And that's a shambles, because we had a Champions League run that papered over the cracks over how awful we were form-wise in the Premier League. You know, we were losing game after game after game. We were lucky to still be within the top 4. We had to rely on Arsenal to screw up against Brighton and against Palace. So I thought someone should have taken initiative rather than just get rid of a right back and don't replace a right back, and only buy a CDM and a few players that we don't really know how good they are on paper. I mean, Lo Celso, yeah, he's finally starting to shine, but Ryan Sessegnon,
he hasn't had a chance yet. He hasn't had a chance.
He was struggling at Fulham. Yeah, okay, he got an assist against. He got an assist against some Serbian farmers. Fine, but I don't. We didn't do good enough for the transfers. That's what I'm saying. And therefore, not financially backed from Poch.
Ndombele has had a chance to show what he can do. Not as much of a chance because he was injured for a while. But the other 2 signings, Lo Celso and Sessegnon, they have not had a chance to show what they can do. In other words, the purchases that we've made over the summer may as well, up to this stage of Poch being sacked, not have been bought because they haven't really been able to do anything, and that's not their fault. So we've been left with a squad that really has not been improved, but has been weakened. Trippier wasn't playing well towards the end, but a lot of us thought, whilst he made some mistakes last year, that the fall in his form was due to the England campaign the summer before, not being rested. And it was. And he's shown that it was because of his form currently, which is much better. And we've been left with a weak right back, and our full back play has for years been central to our good performing, because that movement up and down the flanks has allowed everything to gel together. Now that we've lost that and we can't even get the ball out of our penalty area at times, it's meant that we are defending much more than we used to.
No, I think the reason why we're defending much more than we used to is because A, we're inviting way too much pressure from the other team, and then that adds on to my second point, that we're not pressing enough. Back in the 2016-17 season, we were a fortress at home. We were pressing like mad.
I'm saying.
But look, let me finish my point. And then against Sheffield United, there was no pressing at all. None of the sort at all. We were allowing Sheffield United to have the upper hand by using their possession, which got them to get a point out of this game. And the point I'm trying to say is that we've overachieved on the 2016-17 season, and battery is low. So now, currently in 2019, how much we've deteriorated as a club. We've overachieved, we've not financially backed the manager to what he has wanted, and he's put up with it for so long. Okay, maybe he wanted to go, but I don't know the full details. But the point I'm trying to say is that you will not find another manager that put up with the 5 years with Daniel Levy.
I think we have to be realistic. We are not going to find a better manager than Poch. Poch took us as a team as far as our team could be taken. Now, the fact is, it is true that in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 months, we've not been playing as well, or not really achieving the results that we should have been achieving. But I don't think that's down to him as a manager. I think it's down to the fact that there are a number of improvements that we need to our squad. I think other teams have pushed on with their recruitments. We, for whatever reason, haven't. As I was saying before, the summer did not give us an advantage because 2 of the 3 players have not been able to make an impact.
We had a whole summer to make changes and we didn't do it. We signed at the start of the summer transfer window, which was Ndombele, and then we did nothing of the sort until last day of the transfer window, where we decided to gamble and try and sign Coutinho and Dybala, and it both failed. Both of those failed because we gambled, when we could have had all the time in the world to try and go for players maybe similar to their standard of their status. And now we'll move on to... No, you know what? I'm not even going to move on just yet, because I'm going to say right now, because I know you don't want to rant, which is fair enough. I'm trying not to rant, but I am pissed off.
Sam, let me tell you why it's not worth ranting. We don't yet have knowledge of what? I'm ranting about you not ranting.
Shouting at me for?
There's no point ranting at the moment, because we don't know what we're ranting about. Maybe
Pochettino
slapped Daniel Levy around the chops.
What I'm ranting about is the manner of how Levy has sacked him. There's been no inclination of his build-up of getting sacked. He's called him into... I told you at the start of the video. He's literally sacked him on the spot, just like that, despite the years of what Pochettino has given us. And granted, I know Pochettino was making decisions that would make him get sacked in any other club. But like we said, there's something going on behind this club, which isn't entirely down to Pochettino. It could be down to the players' mentality, like Eriksen, who, like you said in the previous video, roll it.
Actually be jogging along, yeah. There's Vertonghen having a go at my missus.
Just like you said in the previous video of him jogging around and like basically not giving a about anything. There's too many bad eggs in this team. And you really think, and now this is when we go on to the next topic, Jose Mourinho is our strongest contender of replacing the manager. Do you really think Mourinho is going to be able to restore positive vibes and leave off where Poch left off? And carry on what Poch left behind?
Mourinho would be a bad decision.
Bad decision, you're saying?
Yes, bad decision. A number of reasons why. The style of Mourinho's play through each of his team, I find, is to stifle the opposition and to grind out victories. Now, other teams may enjoy grinding out victories as their thrill of the week. That is not what we've been used to. That's not what we want. Harry Redknapp didn't do it. Certainly Pochettino hasn't done it. We've had a few dodgy managers over the years, but Mourinho, his recent history is so troubling, I think it would be a huge mistake.
And I agree with you. I'm not taking away from anything of what Mourinho has achieved in the past. He's been a fantastic manager, but
not for us now.
He won't be. If he does, we don't even know if he'll get the job. But apparently he's a strong contender out of all the other replacements, like Eddie Howe, who I certainly do not want. I think Allegri's in the list. He can't speak any English, but he has done well in Serie A until now, I believe. And
I would like somebody with a little bit of Tottenham connection.
Like who? Harry Redknapp?
Most people of my age would say someone like Jurgen Klinsmann.
But the problem, right, you see, what I'm saying is we need to get a manager that can carry on what Poch left behind. And Pochettino was so unique in his own way.
Who can do that? Who can do that?
There's some good managers, but they just won't be available for us. Because A, we can't afford them, and B, they won't want to come and manage us.
We are not going to get a better manager than Poch.
So would you say now that this is officially the end of an era of Tottenham being a consistent top? We're not getting top 4 this season. That I know very well. But do you think that on the long term that this has become an end of an era for us?
Well, that's down to Daniel Levy and what goes behind his decision making.
Well, he loves his stadium more than
you would hope that behind his decision was a proper plan. Whether there is and whether there isn't, I just don't know. Well, if there is one, then my answer to your question is we've got a chance to have this as not the best of years, maybe to pick it up in the later part of this year, but for the future years to be as they were in the last 3 or 4. We've got a chance. But if this is a sign that he's going back to the Christian Gross type of appointment, do you remember him? Remember Christian Gross?
What season was it?
I can't even remember.
How old
now.
was I? Was I even
you
alive?
might have been 3 or 4.
Okay.
But what he did, he came on the tube with his, he had a little travel card and he said, "My name is Christian Gross. I believe in travelling on public transport."
Wait, didn't Lord Sugar appoint him, not Levy?
Maybe. But that's the point. Yeah. I don't want going back to dodgy managers who can't excite the team. Someone's lost his job with his assistants.
And his son's in the youth team. He's probably gone out the youth team now.
So it's a sad day. But we are the mighty Tottenham, and it will be bright again soon.
Careful with what you say on camera, like I said again. But cool. That's the upload done, and
cheer up, Sandy
I think
boy.
the next video is going to be tomorrow, which will probably filmed, uploaded, released the day after, where I'll be going to Tottenham Hotspur with my mate Alex, and apparently something's going to be going on, and yeah. Just
come on, you Spurs.
When you Spurs.